how are you tonight? Gosh, it's good to see you. Oh my gosh, 362. 3 away from a year. 3 away after tonight. Whoa! It won't be 300. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, I have the Shure MV7 tonight. I put it on, I got the little adapter to make it fit right on the little tripod that came with it. So I moved it up. Hopefully it is in a better location. I moved the sound level thing there. It's supposed to be all the way over there. Come on, be all the way over there. Yep, it should be working. So let me know. Red light, green light. What is Larry playing red light, green light with you guys? Oh my goodness. All right, so Tamara's here. We're going to take a look at the piece that Tamara sent that she has in work in progress. I love fine art like your geisha, but I love the spontaneous and imaginative making of a piece unexpected. So says Linda. Yeah, it is fun when things are spontaneous. I mean, take a look at what happened when you just mentioned a few different gnomes, you guys. Oh my gosh. Is that girl Layla on her? I mean, I'm sure probably on the trip to Phoenix all the way back, she was drawing gnomes. And talking about Einstein, yes, he was quite the crazy. He was a very amazing person. There was a really cool movie documentary done about him a few years back. I loved it. I can't remember who played him. Oh, well. So Linda's here. Tamara's here. Tamara says she's crazy about Einstein. Woo. And so as this here, she sent me a piece to get opinions. It's a strange looking piece. I was reading some Albert Einstein quotes and started to do some art. So we'll take a look at it. And there's Lupe. Hey, Lupe, how are you? How is the weather down in New Mexico? Is it doing well? Yes, I hope so. I bet it is. And Larry. Hey, Larry. Yes, I had to take Layla and Lachlan this morning over to Browns Point to meet up with their mom and dad at Annalena's friend Yana's house. And of course, on the way back, it just so happened that it was after 10 o'clock in the morning. And so if you're going through Tacoma and you're coming across the bridge, the fancy, nice bridge, and you kind of have to turn and end up at the Artists and Craftsmen Supply just because it's the coolest art store in the Northwest, and just because it's so fun to go to. So yeah, I took a small detour there. Oh dear. I'm going to do a little unboxing video tomorrow on when I get back from the eye doctor of all the treasures that I picked up. Nothing fancy, just a few little knickknacks here and there. Thought it'd be fun. And there is... You're not the only one who has audio struggles. Oh, red light, green light means he's driving home. Ah. Hey, Angie, how are you? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. And there's Gail. Hey, Gail. Yes, the kids are on their way back to your neck of the woods, heading back to Mesa today. They made it back. So anyway, yeah, it was sure fun having Layla on the show with me. Yes. I haven't heard how Julia's doing. I hope she's doing well and better. I need to reach out to her. But I think if we all just send her some good vibes from this, that she would really, really like that. So we've got Linda. Yay. So, yes. Larry, Angie's sending you a safe travel. To quote Angie to Larry, safe travels, babe. That's what Angie says. Yeah, I'm just sending the quotes there, passing on the message from my peeps to her hubby. So anyway, you guys, Good, Grandma Goo. I know, I do miss him already. It is that kind of thing. My sister Patty is sitting over in the corner over there. She's been with her granddaughters, and then she came up to have a little day with. Well, she went and saw Sarah earlier today, and now she's here. She has to, unfortunately, head back over the mountains tomorrow morning. That we don't get to have her stay for any length of time. Darn. Her life has been a little bit wackadoo lately, so she's just chilling in the corner, probably going to do some dot art or read just magazines. And she's been doing dot art. She's the one that does that cool dot mandalas and really amazing things. So who's Patty? Oh yeah. Oh, they're all saying hi, Patty. Sis, they're saying hi, Patty, to you. Hi. She says hi. Anyway, so let's take a look at Tamra's piece. And she said in her email to me, I'll read the email. She says, this is another work in progress. So it is a collage piece that is not glued yet. The processes. First, I wet a thin sheet of canvas, then did a wash of blue-gray acrylic paint over the canvas while it was wet. While the canvas was still wet, I crunched it up into a ball, left it for 30 minutes, then unwrapped the canvas and let it dry. I used the opposite side of the canvas, not the side I did the wash on, because I really like the lines and creases. Then I used my watercolor pencils and gave it a dose of color, then cut out my collage. Now I look at it for a few days or so to see what I want to do next. Scalp on or off. Any input would be appreciated. What do you think? It's a strange looking piece for sure, but it happened and there it is. Woohoo! So here we go. Let's see what she has for us. Okay. And the time for comments is open. So this is what she has. Camera overlay. Maybe this over here. First off, the color palette is very cool. I really like that that transition. It's like it has all of them in a rainbow way that has just kind of, I like the fact that it doesn't have a lot of blue in it. It's got the greens and the violets and the pinks there and the orange, but just a touch of blue here or there. It has, I don't know, neurons? Are we, okay. Do you stretch your own canvases? No, not anymore. And I see what you mean by liking all the lines in it and scrunching it up. Scalp or no scalp? Yeah. These tendrils, I don't know if I go like this, it's not showing. No, it's not showing. The tendrils here on the right, they almost look like fingers reaching out or feet. And then the ones on the left, it's like another body that has really long arms and a couple of legs there. It's like this is the legs of one. I almost see a giraffe. Of course I would. Coming up here. I think I would cover the scalp. Maybe. What do you guys think? Okay. What do you turn it over? Turn it over. Okay. Unlock the overlay. Let me do something here. Let me make it smaller. See if I can. I I don't know if I can rotate it. Can I? Nope, I can't rotate it there. Let me see if I can get it in here and take it and rotate it. Okay, I'm going to do a quick screen share, you guys, so that you can see if I can get this. Hang on. While you guys are looking at that, I'm going to do something here. See if I can screen share this here. Get this out of the way. Screen share overlay and have it be screen share options, primary display, secondary display, mail. Okay. Let's see if I can do this and show this. Oh, it's not doing that. No. Secondary display. No, let's see. Preview. There it is. Preview. Okay. We're going to try this. And publish this. All right. I've got it here as a screen share, which you guys can see. Now I'm going to try to rotate it. Larry suggested that. Oops. Rotate. Rotate. There we go. Like that. Let's see if I can make it any bigger. There we go. Or this way. Oh, I kind of like this. Because I like the way it's almost like it's swimming across. You lose the aspect of the face completely this way, in my mind. That gray scalp is a piece of paper under to see what it would look like. More on the bottom. Very cool. So much work already. Can hardly wait to see it finish. Roots. I see the eyes on the back. I'm getting the brain exploding with thoughts. Antlers. I think yes on the scalp, says Gail. That is not really my choice. Hilarious deer season. The other one is my favorite. Yeah, the non-cover scalp gives bad memories of Jenna. Oh, okay. I love the texture. Jellyfish. Looks like a heart. So I'm going to keep, here's this straight upside up way, like more like jellyfish type way. Then turn it this way. You get one of those fish that has the big chompers on them, you know, that have the teeth that come out. Then this tells a completely different story. And here's the one with the face looking up, but you don't. In this way, I kind of lose the face. Okay. I like that idea of turning it, Larry, because it really helps to look at it in different ways. Of course, this is, yeah. The lead-in lines for me come this way. That's just me though. Although the lead-in lines here are really cool too. I wonder if you flipped it like so that it was facing the other direction, which I can't do. All right. So, back to that. Wow, that is something else. It's interesting in all directions. Perspective. It is so interesting how different directions say something completely different. Yeah. I'm thinking of drawing the rest of the head on with watercolor pencils. I think that would be really cool to do that. Delete copy. With the watercolor pencils. You could try that on just a separate piece of paper and then tuck it underneath and see what it looks like before you all out commit to that. You've got that space there to try a couple of different things. Yeah. I think because you've got that space to try different things, you can try them underneath with different mediums even to see what happens. That's what I think. That is what. Oh, yay. All righty. Okay. Yay. Tamara's got an idea. We'll have to see what comes next. It's always so much fun to see you guys' work in progress. I love it when you send me stuff in progress and then we can see how it's going. What about an explosion of Aboriginal motifs? Oh, ooh, that sounds cool. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing it. It's always so much fun to see that. So, like I said, I was going to continue. I'm continuing tonight with a couple more Robert Munsch. And I called this Copycats and Computers. These are two of his books that may not really seem to fit together, but they do fit together in the way that they are standing up for what you think or what this kid thinks. And Robert Munsch, what he does is he takes a kid's imagination and takes it to that impossible and makes that impossible seem almost probable. And it's so much fun to see what it does, but then the story that it tells and the lesson that it has. So this first one is called Stephanie's Ponytail. And this is the copycat part of the whole tonight. Stephanie's Ponytail by Robert Munsch and the art by Michael Marchenko. Now, if you've ever, you'll like this. Stephanie's Ponytail. One day, Stephanie went to her mom and said, "None of the kids in my class have a ponytail. I want a nice ponytail coming right out of the back." So Stephanie's mom gave her a nice ponytail coming right out of the back. When Stephanie went to school, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." And Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail, and I like it." Yay, Stephanie. The next morning when Stephanie went to school, all the other girls had ponytails coming out of the back. Stephanie looked at them and said, "You are all a bunch of copycats. You just do whatever I do. You don't have a brain in your heads." The next morning, the mom said, "Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out of the back?" "No," Stephanie said. "Then that's that," said her mom. "That's the only place you can do ponytails." "No, it's not," said Stephanie. "I want one coming out of the side, just above my ear." Very strange," said the mom. "Are you sure that is what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out right above her ear. When she went to school, The other kids saw her and said, ugly, ugly, very ugly. And Stephanie said, it's my ponytail and I like it. The next morning when Stephanie came to school, all the girls, and even some of the boys, had nice ponytails coming out just above their ears. The next morning, the mom said, Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out the back? Stephanie said, no. Would you like one coming out of the side? No. Well, then that's that, said the mom. There is no other place you can do ponytails. Yes, there is, said Stephanie. I want one coming out of the top of my head like a tree. That's very, very strange, said her mom. Are you sure that is what you want? Yes, said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out of the very top of her head like a tree. And when Stephanie went to school, the other kids saw her and said, ugly, ugly, very ugly. And Stephanie said, well, it's my ponytail and I like it. And the next day, all of the girls and all of the boys had ponytails coming out of the top. It looked like broccoli was growing out of their heads. Hi, Fatima. Nice to have you here. Good to see you again. The next day, the mom said, Stephanie, would you like a ponytail coming out of the back? Stephanie said, no. Would you like one coming out of the side? No. Would you like one coming out of the top? No. Well, then that is definitely that, said the mom. There is no other place you can do ponytails. Yes, there is, said Stephanie. I want one coming out of the front and hanging down in front of my nose. But nobody will know if you're coming or going, her mom said. Are you sure that is what you want? Yes, said Stephanie. So her mom gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out of the front. On the way to school, she bumped into 4 trees and 3 cars, 2 houses, and 1 principal. Then she finally got to her class, and the other kids saw her and said, ugly, ugly, very ugly. And Stephanie said, it's my ponytail, and I like it. The next day, all of the girls and all of the boys, and even the teacher had ponytails coming out of the front and hanging down in front of their noses. None of them could see where they were going. They bumped into the desks and they bumped into each other and they bumped into the walls, and by mistake, 3 girls went into the boys' bathroom. Stephanie yelled, "You are a bunch of brainless copycats. You just do whatever I do. When I come tomorrow, I am going to have shaved my head." The first person to come the next day was the teacher. She had shaved her head, and she was bald. The next to come were the boys. They had shaved their heads, and they were bald. And the next to come were the girls. They'd shaved their heads, and they were bald. And the last person to come was Stephanie. And she had a nice little ponytail coming right out of the back. Uh-oh. A whole bunch of kids chasing her. And that's Stephanie's ponytail. One of Robert Munsch's very crazy fun. Not a real resolution to it, but that's what happens. So it's just one of those goofy books that what happens when you copy and it's not always the best idea. So then, where's the other book? Where did he go? Oh, there we go. Here it is. So what did you guys think? She's going to have to shave her head too? Nope. Well, that didn't go over well. No. Yeah, but, I know it's a darling story. It's great. The kids always at school just always thought it was so hilarious that this would happen. And of course, by the time we're reading along, and I'm saying, it's my ponytail, and the kids are all going with me, and I like it. And then the next day, this happens the next day. So when she gets to the point where she's going to shave her head, you can tell the kids are all like going, uh-oh. And a few of them will go, I bet she's not going to do it. She's going to get him. And it's just that kind of, that kind of, it's that kind of little edgy story, kind of little bit about, it's got a little bit of a lesson to it and a little bit of a hard way, but oh my gosh, but the kids always liked it. They always thought it was pretty funny and laughed, and it's funny. Now, the next book is the one that is about the computers. And this just cracked me up. Again, it's what Munsch does is he takes that imagination of kids, as like he says, he's never quite gone past being a 6-year-old. And, their idea of imagination and exaggeration really knows no bounds. Exaggeration goes just beyond. And turns it into a situation where it's one of those combinations of totally improbable, totally ridiculous, but still it has those elements of that kind of red tape stuff that happens, and what? No, this is too ridiculous to happen. But, and this book is called Jonathan Cleaned Up, Then He Heard a Sound. Let's see. There it is. There we go. Jonathan cleaned up. Then he heard a sound. Or Blackberry Subway Jam. Jonathan's mother went to get a can of noodles. She said, Jonathan, please don't make a mess. When she was gone, Jonathan stood in the middle of the apartment and looked at the very nice clean rug and the nice clean walls and the very, very, very clean sofa and said, well, there's certainly no mess here. Then he heard a sound. It was coming from behind the wall. He put his ear up against the wall and listened very carefully. The noise sounded like a train, and just then the wall slid open and a subway train pulled up and stopped. Someone yelled, "Last stop, everybody out." Then little people, big people, fat people, and thin people, and all kinds of people came out of Jonathan's wall, ran around his apartment, and went out the front door. Jonathan stood in the middle of the living room and looked around. There was writing on the wall, gum on the rug, and a man sleeping on the sofa, and all the food was gone from the refrigerator. Well, said Jonathan, this certainly is a mess. Jonathan tried to drag the man out the door, but he met his mother coming in. She saw the writing on the walls, the gum on the rug, and the empty refrigerator, and she yelled, Jonathan, what a mess! Jonathan said, the wall opened up and there was a subway train. Thousands of people came running through. But his mother said, oh, John, don't be silly. Clean it up. She went out to get another can of noodles, and Jonathan cleaned up. When he was all done, he heard a sound. It was coming from behind the wall. He put his ear up against the wall and listened very carefully. The noise sounded like a train. Oh, just then the wall slid open and there was the subway train. Someone yelled, "Last stop! Everybody out!" And all kinds of people came out of Jonathan's wall, ran around his apartment, and went out the front door. This time, there were ice cream cones and chewing gum on the rug and writing and footprints on the wall and 2 men sleeping on the sofa and a policeman watching TV. Besides that, the refrigerator was gone. Jonathan got angry and yelled, "Everybody out!" And just then his mother came in. She saw ice cream cones and chewing gum on the rug, writing and footprints on the wall, 2 men sleeping on the sofa, and a policeman watching TV in a big empty space where the refrigerator had been. "Jonathan," she said, "what have you done?" And then she heard a noise. It was coming from behind the wall. She put her ear right against the wall and listened very carefully. The noise sounded like a train. And just then the wall slid open and a subway train pulled up and somebody yelled, "Last stop! Everybody out!" And all kinds of people ran out of Jonathan's wall, ran around his apartment, and went out the front door. There were ice cream cones, chewing gum, and pretzel bags on the rug, writing and footprints and handprints on the wall, and 5 men sleeping on the sofa. Besides that, a policeman and a conductor were watching TV, and the fridge and stove were gone. Jonathan went to the conductor and said, "This is not a subway station. This is my house." The conductor said, "If the subway stops here, then it's a subway station. You shouldn't build your house in a subway station. If you don't like it, go see City Hall." Okay. So Jonathan went to City Hall. When he got there, the lady at the front desk told him to see the subway boss. And the subway boss told Jonathan to go see the mayor. So he went and saw the mayor. The mayor said, "If the subway stops there, then it's a subway station. You shouldn't build your house in a subway station. Our computer says it's a subway station, and our computer is never wrong." And then he ran out for lunch. In fact, everyone ran out for lunch, and Jonathan was all by himself at City Hall. Jonathan started to leave, but on his way out, he heard a sound. Someone was crying, "Oh, I'm hungry." Jonathan listened very carefully. He walked up and down the hall and found the room it was coming from. He went in, and there was a big, enormous, shining computer machine. The computer was going wing, wing, kerplink, kerclunk, clickety-clang, with its lights were going off and on, and the voice was coming from behind it. Jonathan squeezed in back of the machine and saw a little old man at a very messy desk. The man looked at Jonathan and said, "Do you have any blackberry jam?" "No," said Jonathan, "but I could get you some. Who are you?" "I'm the computer," said the man. Now, Jonathan was no dummy. He said, "Computers are machines, and you are not a machine. They go wing, wing, curlern, clunk, clickety, clang." And the man pointed at the big computer and said, "Well, that goes wing, wing, kerlunk, cling, clickety, clink, but darn thing never did work. I do everything for the whole city." "Oh," said Jonathan, "I will get you some blackberry jam if you'll do me a favor. A subway station is in my house at 980 Young Street. Please change it." "Well, certainly," said the old man. "I remember doing that. I didn't know where to put it." Jonathan ran out and passed all the offices with nobody there. He ran down the stairs and all the way to the jam store. A jam store. He got 4 cases of jam. It took him 3 hours to carry it all the way back to City Hall. There was still nobody there. He carried the jam back behind the computer and put it on the floor. "Now," said the old man, "where am I going to put this subway station?" "I know," said Jonathan, and he whispered in the old man's ear. Then he left, but the old man yelled after him, "Don't tell anyone that the computer is broken. The mayor would be very upset. He paid $10 million for it." When Jonathan got home, his mother was still standing on the rug because she was stuck to the gum. Jonathan started washing the writing off the wall, and he said, "There will be no more subways here." And he was right. This is one of my favorite pictures here. Get the whole thing there. You see the whole thing. There it is. Uh-oh. That's where the new subway station is. Oh my goodness. Then let's see, back to what we have. Okay, now that I'm home, I spun back time and looked at Tamara's art again, and I see what I didn't see before, a silhouette of a human face. So of course not turned. It's very cool, says Larry. It's very cool, Tamara, full of possibilities. The unfinished scalp is open for all kinds of embellishment. Feathers, flowers, gears, clocks, untold or even ever-changing thoughts could be there. Even a collage that rotates so... Oh, that's a good idea, Larry. A collage that rotates so the thoughts of the silhouette are always on different depending on your mood. Ooh! I started this after I had been doing some... I like that idea of rotating it through that part of the brain, the mind. One of his quotes floating out of his head. You could, well, use integrals or perhaps one of the series like the Taylor series, mathematical. Oh, wow. You guys are amazing. What a good idea. Oh, Larry, this collaboration is incredible. Okay. And the mayor's getting just what he deserved there. Putting a subway station in your house. Yep. So that was that one. I read one of Robert Munsch's other books that he has. There's just a bunch other ones that if you guys ever get a chance to see one, there's one called Angela's Airplane about a little girl who loses her dad at the airport and ends up on an airplane and ends up flying it. Mortimer is about a little boy who just can't go to sleep and all these things. One is about a girl who wants to build a hockey thing. Of course, a lot of them are Canadian-based hockey because that's where Robert Munsch is from. And I think, though, that is going to be it. So I've already picked out the book I'm going to read on day 365. And, yeah, it's a book that was published in 1955. Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but it's perfect for artists, and it's been around even a little longer than me. Woohoo! Just a few months longer than me. But so that's what I'll read on day 365. I've still got a couple other ones for the next 3 nights. 362, 63, 64. Yeah, 2 more, and then that one. And then we'll see what we're going to do from there. Also an octopus. So anyway, that's it for stories tonight. What do you think? I like all those ideas that everybody had for Tamara's art. And tomorrow I'm going to probably go on live and go through this bag of treasures that I got at Artists and Craftsmen. Woohoo! And start prepping for an art fair coming up December 6th or 8th. I can't remember. Out here at the Mustard Seed that we're going to have for 2 Waters. But that's that. Anyway, what else does anybody have to say? Yes, me too. We need Larry input. Yeah, a galaxy would be cool. Larry the Wise. Yes, yes. All right, you guys. So that's my stories for tonight. Robert Munsch he's great, and there's so many fun things that he does. They're just a real hoot of a book. It's just like I said, it's that goofy imagination, and the resolution is always kind of a resolution that a kid would kind of think is reasonable. But adults wouldn't really think is reasonable, but we kind of wish it would be, you know. Wouldn't it be nice if the red tape at City Hall got resolved with things like that? Wouldn't it be funny? You know? So those are the kind of fun things in the books, and I thought you guys would like it. Plus, the illustrations are just, he does such an amazing job. So that's it for story and art tonight. I don't have anything to share of my own. I'll pull up some. I'm going to pull some together tomorrow after my eye appointment. Do this. Got a few things, but I'm pulling some things together for the next few days so that on the 365, I can do that one and show some of the other different things. I have some ideas, little highlights from the year to go along. Who knows? All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here. I love it that you came along. Yeah, the fact that we get to help and be part of Tamara's creative process and all of our creative process, I think it's wonderful. This is a really cool way to collaborate and to get ideas. Thanks so much for being here, for inviting me into your homes, and for coming into mine, and for sharing this, for filling our buckets back and forth, and for going out and sharing that with everybody else. So have a great evening, everyone, and until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around. And the first place you find it is when you go look in the mirror. Until next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous, we could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love